today. Come with me, and you will see a land of ridiculous inventions. Oh yes, we're building a simple fair. Okay, all the funness aside, unfortunately I got a little bit of bad news to share with y'all this morning. That comes out of Texas. Give me just a moment, because I'm actually reading the article here, so. This is from AP News out of a few alarm. We got 2 hours before I got to run. Out of Caryville, Texas, AP. Months worth of heavy rain fell in a matter of hours on Texas Hill County, leaving 24 people dead and many more unaccounted, I should say, for Friday, including more than 20 girls attending a summer camp. Because, you know, while they were building the death camp in Florida for migrants, while they were wasting literally around $3 billion, yeah, they could have been reinforcing this campground area in Texas, but instead we now have 20 missing girls that were attending a summer camp as search teams conduct boat and helicopter rescues in fast-moving floodwaters. Because remember, y'all, if you build your infrastructure the way Texas built theirs, no judgment here, no blaming, just saying, the way Texas infrastructure seems to be built from what I can see from the pictures, it's a lot of flat, a lot of concrete, a lot of asphalt. Well, when the floodwaters come rushing in, there's not a lot in the form of concrete, asphalt, and nonsense like that to absorb, to rebuff, to do anything with the water. So, yeah, if you get caught in that, it's like being caught in, well, a big fire hose or something of the like. I personally would like to tell you these 20 girls are going to be found all right. It's going to be a real heartwarming thing. Lifetime and all the capitalist pigs will make a fucking movie about it to make you feel real good about how Jesus protected them. In reality, these little girls are probably scared, cold, and or already dead. But instead of a robust FEMA plan to take care of them and protect the citizens, we get a death camp and a bunch of douchebags talking about feeding migrants and trans people to alligators. I'm not proud of my country. If you're proud of my country, I don't understand what's wrong with you. Desperate pleas peppered social media as loved ones sought any information about people caught in the flood zone. At least 10 inches, 25 centimeters of rain poured down overnight in central Kerr County, causing flash flooding of the Guadalupe River. Well, again, I could make a joke about the Virgin de Guadalupe River overflooding its banks and killing a bunch of poor white folks who, you know, instead of sanctioning FEMA help or doing a damn thing about global warming, decided to aggressively attack migrants and trans folks, chickens roosting, all that sort of thing. But honestly, I feel no satisfaction, nor should you, in seeing these families suffer. Because while some of them, being from Texas, probably voted for the very things that caused this pain for them, they couldn't have known, and most of them were too busy to truly make informed decisions. I hate the rich bastards who didn't lose any kids in this, who are laughing about your dead children, while they make their shit tons of money through insurance. Because again, isn't it kinda, I'll just say it, illegal that you can pay insurance all your time that you've had that item to the tune of $200-300 a month, and that item got destroyed. I need my insurance money. I've paid $200 a month for over 18 months into it, so I need that $900 that item was worth. Well, I mean, can we be sure it was worth $900? You've had that item for over 12 years after all. You've been paying us for it for over 12 years. I just, are you sure you need the money for the item? What do you mean, am I sure? I paid you money to protect said item. I want my money so I can replace the item that got destroyed. Yeah, but bud, wouldn't it just be nicer and more patriotic of you to just give us that money and then fuck off? Because that's more or less what the U.S. government's telling these people to do. We bought and built Alligator Auschwitz. We can't build homes to house the homeless, but we can build a giant open-air prison in the Florida death camp. We can do that. At news conference late Friday, Kerr County Sheriff Larry Lathena said 24 people had been killed. Authorities said 237 fit. Most of them were unfortunately unhoused or poor people. Again, it's always us that die, folks. It's never the rich that die, it's us. If one of them dies in New York, you'll hear about it for 16 months. You'll hear about how the person who did it was a monster. If 7 of them pile in a fucking submarine and go exploring the open ocean and die doing stupid shit, yeah, we'll hear about that for 12 months. It'll be a tragedy. And that's why I'm very proud of our class solidarity. Keep the jokes coming. When the rich die, good people laugh. Now, said 237 people have been rescued so far, including 167 by helicopter. The missing children were attending Camp Mystic. I'm not even going to make fun of that. That name goes fucking hard. I dig that name. Attending Camp Mystic, a Christian camp along the Guadalupe River in the small town of Hunt. Eleanor, Lester, 13, said she and her cabin mates had to be helicoptered to safety. Y'all, I really want to say an inappropriate joke there, because I know that after the Pulse nightclub shooting and several other incidents, very inappropriate jokes were made. But I'm just going to say it again. What good is your God if he can't protect you from anything? What good is your comforter? Because guess what? Alcohol, marijuana, heroin will give you the same level of comfort your God does. I'm just saying, if you cannot raise your hands and voice to the heavens and go, my God, bring me my child, don't kill my child. And your child isn't rescued by some beam of light, they're rescued by modern mechanics. They're rescued by a helicopter full of National Guardsmen not oppressing brown people in another country, but actually doing their job and protecting the American people. You should be thanking your National Guardsmen, not thanking whatever God you went to and sent them to this death camp to see. See, I can't even make a good death camp joke because, again, we spent $3 billion building a goddamn death camp in the swamps of Florida when, from the sound of it, around 200,000 could have gone a long way in saving these people's lives. I mean, if 2 helicopters are killing themselves getting these kids out of the swamps and out of the flood zones and breaking their ass trying to save people, imagine what 3 helicopters, 4 helicopters, 10 helicopters could do. I'm just saying, y'all, we spent our money stupidly and chickens roosting. Reference made. Boom. Sinking. Continuing. Oh, yeah. The Christian camp was completely destroyed, she said. A helicopter landed and started taking people away. It was really scary. The situation was still developing, and officials said the death toll could change, with rescue operations ongoing for an unspecified total number of missing. Y'all, it's been over 24 hours. At this point, in those conditions, you really got to take the age factor into the thing. If they're an elderly member or an at-risk member of your society, it's no longer a rescue mission, it's a body find. They're looking to recover, not to rescue. If they're super young, your baby in your car that floated off. I hate to be that bastard to tell you this, but no, your baby's dead. It's a recovery, not a rescue mission. Now, if you're a dipshit like me, you're like mid-30s, early 20s, it's been 24 hours, we might still find your ass in a tree. We might still find you clinging to some piece of debris and alive. But if you're looking for Grandma, Grandma's dead. If you're looking for Junior, Junior probably drowned. I'm not saying this to be a dick. I'm hopeful that they find these missing people. But let's check our hopes with our realities. And understand that Jeff Bezos didn't lose a single fucking person. Bill Gates, he's doing happy. He's masturbating in his manor right now. Which manor? Who knows? One of the dozens. The richest people in the world are laughing at your loss right now. They're amused by the deaths that you're facing because they can't comprehend it. I mean, again, when Donald Trump has Barron in the way of a flash flood, you know what happens? He doesn't care because it's Barron. Who gives a shit? But if he actually cared, if he was a good father, he would send in a rescue team to go get his son because he can afford that. Now you, Joe Bob, working at the local fuel up and polish, what are you going to do when your kid at the Christian camp gets flooded? Oh yeah, you're going to pray to an impotent God who might or might not save them. This might be the lesson you need from that God on loss or greed or some stupid fucking cope thing you'll tell yourself after your kid's dead, and you voted for the man that instead of putting more money into FEMA, more money into rescuing people, decided to put over $3 billion fucking dollars into building a goddamn death camp in the swamp. Americans, you should not be proud. Fuck Military Day. This is hard to read, but continuing. Pleading for information after flash flood. A river gauge at Hunt recorded 22-foot rise, 6.7 meters in about 2 hours. According to Bob Fogarty, F-O-G-A-R-T, meteorologist with the National Weather Service Austin San Antonio office, the gauge failed after recording a level of 29.5 feet, 9 meters. I want you to think about that for a minute. I really do. While I go pick up these books that my asshole cat knocked off the shelf, I really want y'all to think about 22 meters in under 2 hours. That is, 6.7 meters. That's 22 feet in under 2 hours. That's 10 foot an hour. That's a foot and, what is it, a foot a minute? Give me a second. I'll be right back. Quit knocking books down, bitch. Oh. You're okay. I want you to try to put yourself in the place of one of these campers, or even worse, one of the unhoused, or one of the other people that are at risk in Texas. You're sitting there, the rain's coming down, it's coming down hard AF. It's one of those rainstorms where it's got them fat, pregnant drops falling on you. And in about 10 minutes as you're sitting there trying to keep your meager, tiny possessions, perhaps your arts and crafts project dry, perhaps your livelihood that's left in a tent dry, the water just keeps rising. After about 10 minutes, you struggling, deciding what's important, what's not, putting the dog in the buggy, putting the preservatives in the buggy, whatever you've got that you can keep that's food-wise, deciding on what meager clothes you have that are now floating away from you quickly as the water reaches from your foot to your ankle, to your shin, to your knee. And as this is happening, in again, minutes this is happening, you're realizing, oh shit, this isn't going to work, this isn't going to work, this isn't going to work. As you look out, you see the sewage and the water outside in the city streets start to bubble up over the septic systems. You see sewer grates that should be draining water in, now spewing water out like a drunken sailor, just letting it all loose, letting the bilge flood. The smell is god-awful. The feeling, instead of it being the cool water that you would expect in a Texas downpour, it's now the wet, nasty, sloppy water of a city sewage system leaking back up. And as you die, fighting, struggling like hell, now floating on the water that was quickly overtaking you, you have to contend with the fact that you're dying not because your country couldn't save you. You're dying because people didn't care. You're dying because Javier needed to be put in a death camp in the middle of Florida, and we needed to force someone else, probably a Florida inmate, to go pick the cotton and pick the oranges. And y'all, when I say I'm disgusted with my country, I can't put it into words. I can't say how I feel because of terms of service. But understand, every one of these over 237 people put at risk and over 24 dead, we can directly put their bloated, soaked corpse at the feet of Donald Trump. We can directly point a finger at any of you fucks that voted for Trump. They should be coming for y'all with torches and pitchforks, like Dr. Frankenstein in a Mary Shelley novel. Remember, Dr. Frankenstein was the monster, not the monster, folks. Read a book. I beg of you. I plead of you. The water's moving so fast you're not going to recognize how bad it is until it's on top of you, Fogarty said. On the Kerr County Sheriff's Office Facebook, Jesus fucking Christ. On the Kerr County Sheriff's Office Facebook page, people posted pictures of loved ones and begged for help finding them. We live in a world where, was it the National Guard posting information? No, it was goddamn Facebook. The same site that sells you dick cream and those stupid fucking 5-second ads and the garbage of the day, whatever quick Temu Chinese purchase you're making, that Facebook. The Facebook where you got catfished by that giant man that pretended to be a teenage girl, that Facebook. The one where your most racist and edgy family member will have an anime profile picture from a 90s anime and they think that makes them cultured. That Facebook. People were putting pictures of their dead loved ones out there on Facebook like they were fireflies posting in the fucking post-apocalyptic wasteland. Y'all, this is 2025 America. This is America where if I say underwear 6 times fast, I'll get 3 different ads for Hanes, Navi, and Navel, or some other nonsensical stupid shit to sell me the latest slop. But if I'm worried that my grandma might or might not be dead in Texas, well, by God, I better jump on the fascist social media app and beg that the fucking dude who made a... Yeah, y'all, you're getting to hear real anger. This is Minecraft, where we stare at fucking brass walls rather than make armor. Search crews are doing whatever we can do to find everyone we can, he said. About 23 of the roughly 750 girls attending Camp Mystic were among those who were unaccounted for. Pitch black wall of death. An Ingram Ern Burgess woke up to thunder and rain at 3:30 a.m. Just 20 minutes later, water was pouring into her home directly across from the river. She said she described an agonizing hour clinging to a tree and waiting for the water to recede, enough so they could walk up the hill to a neighbor's home. My son and I floated to a tree where we hung on to it. And I did not read ahead, y'all. I did not read ahead, but I damn near described this. My son and I floated to a tree where we hung on to it, and my boyfriend and my dog floated away. He was lost for a while, but we found them, she said. Of her 19-year-old son, Burgess said, thankfully he's over 6 feet tall. That's the only thing that saved me, was hanging on to him. Now imagine if her 19-year-old son had been 14 instead. Imagine if her 6-foot 19-year-old son had been 4 feet instead of 6 feet. Had been the national average of 5 1/4. This woman and her son would have died. Matthew Stone, 44, of Kerrville, said police came knocking on doors 5:30 a.m., but that he had received no warning on his phone. Because they defunded the system! Trump defunded the warning system! You will not get a warning when the nukes drop either, friends. Are you afraid yet? Are we regretting decisions we've made? Are we perhaps thinking that greed is a dumb way to run a country? Yeah, you're not going to get the emergency alerts anymore, folks. That's what defunding the fucking NOAA and the National Weather Service does. Pay attention to things, please. Because I'm sounded like an old school preacher, because many of y'all can't be fucked with to keep up with modern things, but you can name me every goddamn Kardashian. You can tell me every person who was on Survivor or the new reboot, but you can't tell me what Noah is. Oh, he's that dude from the Bible. Fuck you, I'm gonna slap the piss out you. No. Stone said police used his paddle boat to help rescue a neighbor. The police, the ones who have the death machines and who are rounding people up into the death camps wholesale and are now making major buku bucks, profiting from all this through ICE. Yeah, the police had to borrow the civilians' boats. Because, again, the police force that makes billions of dollars could not be fucked with to own a fleet in case this happened. They couldn't be fucked with. They were too busy. At a reunification center set up in Ingram, families cried and cheered as loved ones got off vehicles loaded with evacuees. 2 soldiers carried an older woman who could not get down a ladder. Behind her, a woman in a soiled t-shirt and shorts clutched a small white dog. There's a picture. I'm glad I can't see the picture. Later, a girl in a white Camp Mystic t-shirt and white socks stood in a puddle, sobbing in her mother's arms. Barry Adelman, 54, said water pushed everyone in his 3-story house into the attic, including his 94-year-old grandmother and 9-year-old grandson. The water started coming through an attic floor before finally receding. I was horrified, he said. I was having to look at my grandson in the face and tell him everything was going to be okay, but inside I was scared to death. Y'all, again, assuming your emotional centers aren't completely shot through years of beep, boop, bop, tick-tock, slop. Assuming your hearts aren't completely hardened, I want you to picture you're loading your grandma into the attic of your home, wrestling like hell to get her up the pull-down ladder, because I'm a southerner, that's the ladder, that's what we had. We didn't have no fancy stairs. We had a ladder pulled down to get up to our attic. But you get grandma and you get your kid and you get your family up in the attic. You don't got an axe up there. You never had planned on this kind of thing happening. And now the water starts to come up. Your kid's scared to death. Your elders are just waiting patiently, knowing what may come. And the water is slowly getting ready to press you into the ceiling before receding. Nerve-wracking, yes. It's only going to get worse. This needs to be seen as Mother Nature giving us a firm slap on the ass and being told, you don't live there anymore. You don't get to live there anymore. You made your choice. You chose the vroom vrooms. You chose the boom booms. You chose the death. What did you think choosing death meant? What did you think it meant? That's all that I can say to that one. What did you think defunding FEMA was going to do? What did you think? Because I got news for you folks. There's no savior coming here. There's no vans with shitty fucking survivor food and warm blankets and dry and clean water coming. Dry goods and clean water. There's no cavalry coming unless you build the cavalry. This is why it isn't just a sign-off line. It's a call to fucking action. Build your communities, y'all. We have to endure and survive. Popular tourism area prone to flooding. I'm not reading the last paragraph. Do, if you care to know more, go check out the AP News article. It is AP News, all lowercase, AP News, APNEWS.com/article/thunder. Why do they make it so hard to see the thing? I want to read the entire web address of these people. It's going to reload it and reload it. Maybe if I click on it to share. Nope. I'm old, Yusuke. I'm old now. Either way, check it out. 24 dead in Texas floods and more than 20 children missing from a girls' summer camp. AP News. That's apnews.com. All lowercase. Written by... I'm not going to subscribe to you. You won't even give me your fucking web address. Written by... Jim Vertuno. Vertuno has been covering news, sports, and politics from Texas for the AP since 1998. Holy crap, he's been covering this shit since I was 10 years old. He won a National Headliner Award for sports writing in 2023. That seems like a waste. Look, y'all, I'm not going to say that you shouldn't write about your sports. I'm just going to say more important shit. Now, let's listen into Hassan cover Trump's anti-Semitic comments shocked the world. It's 3/24. It's July 5th. Welcome, welcome.
Donald Trump deliver a speech to a crowd of American Iowans who were very excited at the prospect of the big beautiful bill passing, which I thought was really funny.
rookie is the point.
remotely positive. So we watched Donald Trump deliver a speech to a crowd of heart disease Iowans, as you can see in the background, cheering as he gleefully talked about taking away their Medicaid and their SNAP benefits so that Donald Trump's wealthy friends can keep their massive tax cuts. Now, the big beautiful bill was designed in an effort to make the previous Trump tax cuts from 2017 permanent. They were supposed to sunset. They were supposed to sunset right now, okay, or soon. And Donald Trump was able to whip the vote and expertly craft this working poor bill and go against a lot of his previous campaign promises, such as I am not going to take away your Medicaid. I'm not going to touch Medicaid. Right? Well, it turns out he is molesting the Medicaid. Okay, he is molesting the health.
So he's treating Medicaid the way he did all those children back in the 90s and early 2000s.
Oh, the Social Security Association blasted out these.
I know, y'all, there ain't no fucking love here for the Trump supporting dipshit. Call them out, know them, name them, shame them.
Passages legislation providing historic tax relief for seniors. As they say, admin is sucking on it.
Also, for the record, I know no one's actually watching this stream at the moment. I'm not that crazy. But I would say, y'all, just, if you don't watch the news and keep up, do try to keep up with what's going on. Check out Sam Cedar, Hassan Piker, Lance of the Surf Times. Maybe check Hannah Reloaded out if you need a pick-me-up after the show.
Right? It's a way to try to, reorient your focus to something that is supposed to be positive, but it's not, right? There is no new tax cuts here. The only thing that you get is no tax increase, a marginal, modest tax increase for most of the working class, but a significant tax increase for everyone above the $200,000 a year, the top 20% of wealth. They would have seen more tax increases. But the Trump administration, of course, is expertly doing political ads for their dog bill. And every time they do something, I'm like, I wish the Democrats would do something like this. This would be sick. You say there's nothing good in this bill for working class and poor people. There's no taxes. So SS, tips and overtime is good. I can't believe the Dems didn't run on something like that. Dude, I'm sorry to report this to you, but if you were already working in the service sector and there are no taxes on your tips, you already are not eligible for a tax break anyway. You are not making enough for a tax break. Okay? You are probably getting a tax return at the tax season. Most of these people are not already, they're not already getting a major tax break here, okay? There are some who get a modest amount and your job relies on okay?
Well, that's the end of that world. Time to start again, y'all. Congratulations, the death of a world. That isn't mildly frustrating, is it?
You know what's not going away, though? The tax cuts for the super wealthy that were made permanent. Those
Alright.
no tax on tips, they're going away by, I think, 2028.
We're on attempt 14, right?
That's also slated to sunset. Not only is it not unlimited, it's there's a $25,000 cap, and most of the people in the service sector or in gig economy jobs are not even going to be able to get to a level where they benefit from this tax cut. There are some people who will, but a much smaller percentage of the overall labor force are actually...
Honestly, we might switch over to the forest here soon just because it's a friendlier game.
There's also a cap on it.
But we'll get some copper armor made probably because copper is quite abundant. First we gotta get our food set up though. Poor little baby not feeling too good.
Kamala Harris did run on no tax on tips as well. And it's temporary. This is just giving handouts to cops, okay? You know the only
10.
firefighters do as well. Okay? But like people out here really think this is a great.
Alrighty, and here we go. We'll be able to play on this world for about 30 minutes before I gotta set up and head out. So let's have our first coffee of the day and knock out a world build.
Don't even reach that threshold to pay taxes on the stuff anyway. That's not true, man. I work in construction, lots of overtime.
You think surface world is a mistake?
Under $51,000 a year, you will make.
Nah, y'all, honestly, I'm more heartbroken when it's over 187 days or something like that. I knew the risk when I did that dirt tower. The next tower will try to do the same build, though. Medium in the middle, build up.
Working class / poor people with no taxes on tips and overtime is good. Overtime is good. I can't believe them didn't run on something like that. Overtime taxes are cheap. Social Security
Oh,
is not
baby.
taxed at all. That's a decent
Don't
amount of
fall
money
now.
from our bodies and actually helps people. American brain, dude. American brain is always
You're okay.
tax cuts are the only way to help the working class. No, dog.
Yeah, we'll redesign everything here in a bit. Ooh, we're in the jungle.
The best way to help the working class, taxing the rich, okay? Keeping taxes stable for the working class in general, and then having a kind of amenities and a
Different ways you can access
social
it.
safety
There.
nets for everybody. That's how you're supposed to help the working class. But because most Americans, regardless of what their class position is, and regardless of what their ideological tendencies are so understandably
I know,
frustrated
there ain't no fun
with the
getting
government.
sick here.
They just see taxes as this antagonistic. They have an antagonistic relationship with the government, and they have an antagonistic relationship with the taxes. They just see it as like the government is stealing their money so they can give it to baby murder machines that are used in Israel, okay? Most people go, why the f am I giving money to the government? I don't see anything in return. But Social Security and tax on 60 hours of work a week, not taxing those is a great way to show people you support the working class. Yes, dude, you're right. Donald Trump supports the working class. He really showed it. Social Security isn't taxed until $25,000 a year. The average Social Security recipient makes $20,000 a year. It is a wholesale lie. Do you think some salaried employees might change to hourly so they can get a lot of overtime and avoid taxes on it? Trump says the Republican mega bill will eliminate taxes on Social Security. It does not. President Donald Trump keeps saying that Republicans' mega tax and spending cut legislation will eliminate tax on federal and Social Security benefits. It does not. At best, Trump's no tax on Social Security claim exaggerates the benefits to seniors if either the House or Senate pass proposals to sign into law. Trump has repeatedly told voters during his 2024 campaign that he would eliminate tax on Social Security as the massive legislative package has moved through Congress. The Republican president has claimed that that's what the bill would do. Trump has said on a recent appearance on Fox News' Sunday morning features that the bill includes no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, and no tax on overtime. Instead of eliminating the tax, the Senate and House have each passed their own version of a temporary tax deduction for seniors age 65 and over, which applies to all income, not just Social Security. And it turns out not all Social Security beneficiaries will be able to claim the deduction. Those who won't be able to do so include the lowest income seniors who already don't pay tax on Social Security, those who choose to claim their benefits before they reach age 65, and those above a defined income threshold. The Senate proposal includes a temporary $6,000 deduction for seniors over the age of 65, contrasted with the House proposal, which includes a temporary deduction of $4,000. The Senate proposal approved Tuesday would eliminate Social Security tax liability for seniors with an adjusted gross incomes of $75,000 or less, or $150,000 if filing as a married couple. If passed into law, the tax deduction would last 4 years from 2025 to 2029. The deduction stays out as income increases. Touting a new Council of Economic Advisors analysis, the White House said Tuesday that 88% of all seniors who receive Social Security will pay no tax on their Social Security benefits, going on to say that the Senate proposal $6,000 senior deduction is estimated to benefit 33.9 million seniors, including seniors not claiming Social Security. The deduction yields an average increase in after-tax income of $670 per senior who benefits from it. Garrett Watson, director of the policy, announced that the Tax Foundation said conflating the tax deduction with a claim that there will be no tax on Social Security could end up confusing and angering a lot of seniors who will expect to pay no taxes or expected not to pay taxes on their Social Security benefits. While the deduction does provide some relief for seniors, it is far from completely repealing the tax on their benefits. Whether the problem is there's lots of MAGA people,
I got lucky. earn right out the gate if I can survive the evening.
Explain to people it is stupidity. You're receiving $5 back on your take-home pay, while billionaires are receiving $5 million back. Okay, at a time when they're already paying a tremendously minor part of their yearly net worth increase in the form of taxes, their yearly real income. Okay, their effective tax rate is literally, depending on how wealthy they are, it goes all the way down to like 0.1%. As opposed to someone like you, in the working class, you're paying around 37 to 50, maybe even 60% of your yearly income. And then on top of that, the rest goes directly into existing and surviving and living and paying rent and paying for groceries. You have no money left. Okay? People just don't understand it. They don't realize, they're like, oh, well, I got $5 back. This is great. Okay, well, the wealthiest in society are getting millions of dollars back.
Yeah.
More, if I were to ask those very same people, like, do you think they should be taxed at a similar rate? You would say yes. And for the poorest Americans, okay, for the poorest Americans in the working class, they unironically actually get over. Not only are they not seeing a tax decrease at all, okay, they're also losing their benefits. They're losing the things that taxes are paying for. So you're actually losing money. If you are above the top 20% threshold, if
I
you're
guess we're gonna make some smoked meats on this one.
or more,
Oh man, I gotta redo the BIs too. That makes me sad. I was gonna make a giant thing of wax and honey.
$200,000
Oh well.
you will see some modest benefits from this. And the higher you go up the
That's doors. That's
$217,000
just doors.
line, it's not even 200,000, it's 217,000, the top 20% of wealth, which is experiencing 60% of all of the tax cuts from this bill. Okay? The higher you go from the $217,000 line, the more the benefits are, the more bountiful the benefits are. Okay? Everything below that line is not even seeing anything, and there's past the point of there's a point that you go beneath. If you go beneath like $55,000 a year, for example, you are actually seeing decreased benefits. Like it directly. When did these cuts go into effect? Don't worry, after the midterms.
Huh?
The Republicans designed it in a way. The Republicans designed the bill in a way where the impact can only be seen after the midterm elections. So fear not. They are trying to avoid experiencing some kind of backlash. It's so transparently up. Does that include all ICE funding? Oh, dude, yeah, $175 billion of the fee to ICE, making it the most expensive, most costly law enforcement agency, making ICE is like Trump's immigration detention and immigration enforcement agenda the most expensive law enforcement agency. It's like more expensive than the Marine Corps. Okay, their annual budget is larger than the Marines. Great stuff to have in there too. 150 billion to the military, 175 billion to ICE alone. Okay, to ICE, Customs, Border Patrol, and Trump's like immigration enforcement agenda. Fantastic stuff he will do with that. Better funded than, I think it makes ICE and Customs and Border Patrol, Trump's Gestapo, the 10th best funded army on the planet. Yeah. And of course, as things stand, we know Democrats will never defund ICE, so that's just permanent. And that machine will require more immigrants to throw into it. It's like a volcano. You know, the third? I think it's like third largest standing army. No, it's not the largest standing army. It's like the expensive. It is higher than the defense spending of many countries, and I think it's like seventh or something, if not third. Last year, Russia budgeted $149 billion for their military. Yes, $175 billion is not the annual expenditure for ICE. That is across many years. I think the yearly breakdown comes to like 50 billion or something like that. I forget. Yeah, the 175 billion is across 5 years. Fantastic stuff. Last night, as we talked about, Donald Trump was live and alive in Iowa.
Like I said, we're already seeing the results of these terrible policies. Remember, folks, the 24 displaced and 12 dead in Texas right now. Directly responsible because he's directly responsible for those. The cuts are directly responsible for those people dying and being displaced. FEMA never did that great a job, but they did do better than nothing. Oh. I can't repeat what Trump just said. That was very, very anti-Semitic. Ah, for fuck's sake. Can we stop saying that he's doing illegal shit and he's being rude and he's... Yeah, no shit. I mean, yeah, we need to keep it on record, but at this point, do any of the Republicans give a shit? Trump could fuck a child on live TV and wipe his dick with the American flag, and they would, well, it's our leader, maybe it was an evil child, we don't know. Trump supporters, you are the lowest form of life on this planet, just saying. Just saying, you should know that, and you should know I'm not the only one that thinks it, I'm just the only one gonna say it to your fucking face. Nasty people. Nasty people. I mean, that is kind of true, though, because me saying to free Palestine and stop bombing the innocent children, well, that's anti-Semitic. But Trump can literally get up there and say, oh, some of them are good bankers, and some of them are insert Jewish slur. Like, bruh. Yeah, I like to call black people the N slur. I didn't know it was a slur. I didn't know it was, that N slur was used that way. You know it a different way than I know it. Really? That's where we at as a society? I hate it. I hate it. Alright, we got a lot of building to do here, folks. But we got the blank canvas set up. We're going to get some supplies together through it. We're going to move on from there. Welcome, welcome to the new day, the new dawn of the new world. This time we're in the jungle rather than the ocean, so fingers crossed we get to have a better build and no more fucking drowned, huh? I doubt it. We're probably going to die from a drown, but we're going to try. We'll also try to get the sea of trees going.
There's no way. John Paul Horace does believe this, but I doubt that he would openly say it. I feel like this is a fake tweet. Oh my god, he literally said it. Trump bombed Iran, and you say, dude, how many, dude. when you bomb Iran, you get to say whatever you want, okay? Are you kidding me? Democratic majority for Israel. This is offensive and unacceptable. Unfortunately, it's part of a pattern of President Trump spreading anti-Semitic stereotypes. You should apologize. This is good. Maybe this will take the attention away from what a lot of these organizations are way more focused on, which is anyone and everyone that says Israel should stop doing a genocide. Wow, I'm shocked. Guys, let me tell you how surprised I am. A right-wing conservative said something that is bigoted? What?
Not our right wing in America. The right wing in America? Next thing you'll tell me is they're being racist. Next thing you'll tell me is the right's racist. Is that what you're trying to imply as well? Did they intentionally try to rig the game? Not our right. Not how dare you say such horrible things about those good, innocent people. Yeah, no, duh. The question is, do we do a nice big spiral staircase, or do we start opening it up more and doing like block to block down staircases? I will language police when it comes to slurs. Disengage if you want to disengage. I just know I'm a better person than you. It's not a matter of policing our language, friend. It's a matter of just simple empathy. It's very basic, easy, baby brain shit. The reason I don't use the N slur, especially as a southern man. Your ancestors probably heard that saying from a southern man, and they probably did horrible, unspeakable things to him. So I would not want to repeat that very horrid, terrible history. And we already found us an underground cave entrance. Freaking skeleton. Yeah.
has routinely highlighted neo-Nazi accounts like open Holocaust deniers and racist eugenicists. One that famously also just got highlighted by the New York Times in an effort to near Zohran Mamdani, as we covered yesterday. It has turned the website unusable. There are ads for Hitler, for Adolf Hitler on the website. Elon Musk also took the maximalist anti-Semitic position when he responded to a neo-Nazi who was saying, well, Jews imported the third world here, so now that they're doing anti-Semitism, well, sucks to suck, you brought this on yourselves. This is the classic anti-Semitic trope. The idea that, okay, very good. Okay, come on, start out, come on. Elon Musk, Elon Musk turned around and looked at that great replacement theory, which is the idea that like Jews are bringing in the third world into Western civilization to destroy the racial fabric of Western civilization and effort to destroy it from within. And he said, "You have said the truth. That is the maximum anti-Semitic position you can arrive at." Okay, I can't think of any other anti-Semitic history that's more damning than that one. It is directly the one that Adolf Hitler used. It is directly the anti-Semitic conspiracy that the synagogue shooter, the Tree of Life synagogue shooter, was geared up about when he went into the synagogue and shot the attending Jews. Elon Musk turned around and said, "This is great. Like, you have said the actual truth." Well, because he's pro-Israel, because he is pro-Israel, the ADL has routinely defended him. The ADL literally defended him, throwing up the Sig Heil twice on inauguration. Okay, that's it. That's it. What is that shadow saying? Are you making an argument to that point that's demonstrably true? Wait, what? You're going to make that argument that is demonstrably true is the truth anti-Semitic? You think Jews have Elon is not a Nazi ball? Brother, I don't think you're a good judge on who is a Nazi and who is not a Nazi, considering that you think that Jews have engaged in a conspiracy to import the third world into the Western civilization, to destroy Western civilization from within. Dog, you're a Nazi. What do you mean? That is not a correct argument at all, you moron. That's not even an argument. That's just a made-up hysterical fantasy. Yeah, what always gets admitted is the original poster was accusing Judge of saying Hitler was right. The replier says basically actually he was, and Elon Musk concurs. Yeah. The cowards hiding behind anonymity on the internet and posting Hitler was right. You got something to say? Why don't you say it to our faces? And this guy goes, okay, I'll say it to your face. Hitler was right. Look at it. The Jewish communities have been pushing this exact kind of dialectical hatred against whites that they claim to want people to stop using against them. I'm deeply disinterested in giving the tiniest about how Western Jewish populations come into the disturbing realization that those hordes of minorities that support flooding their country don't exactly like them much. You want the truth said to your face, there it is. Elon Musk turns around and says, "You have said the actual truth." To which he replies with, or to which Charles Weber, the original poster, replies with, "I think this ad is showing a white father who supports Jews lecturing his college-age son not to be an anti-Semite. This ad aired back in March at a time when anti-Semitism blah 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 college campuses." Elon Musk does not reply to the original poster. Okay? In the aftermath of this, Elon Musk went through the classic ADL route of going to a Holocaust museum and writing a book report on the Holocaust, and basically then reaffirming his commitment to Israel. And since then, the ADL has consistently defended him instead of and have spent most of his time and most of his efforts on, I don't know, combating the anti-Semitism on Steam or combating the anti-Semitism, fake anti-Semitism accusations against people like myself on Twitch because of my anti-Israel position. Okay? You never hear the increase of anti-Semitism on Twitter for some reason, which is literally the nucleus of anti-Semitism. Twitter is the breeding ground of anti-Semitism. Like actual anti-Semitism, not like anti-Israel statements. Okay? And yet you never hear from Jonathan Greenblatt on any of that shit. Because Jonathan Greenblatt only cares about Israel. Okay?
And that is the end of that particular part from Hassan Piker. So, we have made it to day one of our we made our first day on our new world. We will continue exploring this lovely area. Hopefully not lose my house, though I'm probably going to end up losing my frickin' house at some point. We'll have to make it stand out more. Till then, we've got a nice big-ass cave to explore. We'll eventually have a bed put in. And we will see y'all later. Y'all be good. Remember, community first. Be safe out there. The government does not have your best interest at heart anymore. But yeah, y'all. Be good. We love you. We'll see you this afternoon. We'll be going live here in a few minutes for a walk into work with me stream. And then if Rose's parents aren't there to pick her up today, I'll do a walk home with me stream. If they are there, since she lives in the direction I live home, we'll do extra gaming streams and I'll get some cleaning up out the way. Y'all be good. Remember, it's community first with us. We gotta take care of each other, especially in a world where the U.S. government gives zero fucks. Stash water. Make a savings account, even if it's just pennies and dimes and nickels. Put back what food you can put back that's potable and storable for the hard times. Y'all, Great Depression rules be applying. Be safe. We love you. We hope to see you this afternoon and later on for the streams. Bye.